Gamer7 and welcome back to another Create a Sim video. This of course is a part of the Pokemon 2 Sim CAS series going on my channel. It's a pretty long series, but I did enjoy it a whole lot and I hope y'all did too. This particular one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess up on the name of it, but I am going to attempt my best. I think it's Cresseilia, because I think she's one of the part of the lunar duo for the legendary Pokemon. And I haven't seen, like, if you've watched the previous videos, you have heard me mention how I've been watching the show to try to get to learn how to pronounce some of these, but there is a lot more episodes and seasons and, you know, to this anime more than I really realized. Like, I knew that it had been going on for years because it started when I was little, but I actually didn't totally realize how much it, like, was there. Because, you know, some shows have seasons that go on for years and years and years, but they don't have as many episodes, just according to, like, how long the episode is, how many times it shows during a week, so on and so forth. So there is a lot more to this series than I was expecting, to be real honest with you. So I have yet to get to a part where this particular Pokemon has actually shown up, but I do know they are part of the lunar duo with Darkrai. I am a little bit more familiar with Darkrai than I am with Cresseilia here, so I am used to seeing that one. I think usually that is the more popular of the two. I don't remember if in my voting things I put Darkrai or not. I sort of did, like, the Pokemon that I chose to vote on, because I didn't want to just be like, tell me any Pokemon you want, and I'll make it. But I wanted to sort of get a few Pokemon that I thought maybe would be interesting to try to turn into a sim, and also mix that in with how popular some of them were and things like that. And I do know that usually, me personally, I do tend to lead towards Ghost, Dark, and Water types. So to some degree, I did try not to go towards any Sims that, Sims. Too many Pokemon towards that. I do notice that I actually do have a lot of water Pokemon in this, but it wasn't intentional. So, anyway. But, so there was a few things that I just, like, used to pick just this, like, the Pokemon for y'all to vote on in the first place. So I don't know if I had Darkrai. I'm actually going to go check real quick, because now I'm sort of curious. There's something stuck to my phone. But she was one of the ones that voted. I had a few of them. She wasn't one of them, but I had a few of them that their votes were so close to the one that won that I did make them anyway, especially since some of them I just really, really wanted to make anyway in the first place. So I did sort of put some of them in, but let me see here. So yeah, looking back on it, I didn't have Darkrai as even an option. I have a feeling if maybe I did, maybe they would have been voted to the top and would have probably made this series. But again, I'm always open to suggestions. I am possibly going to make a few that people suggest, but I'm not going to do like a whole lot of them because there is a lot of Pokemon out there. So I do have to take in consideration time and just the amount of Pokemon there is. Maybe someday I eventually will have made a sim sort of based off of all, like, I think there's 800 and some Pokemon at this point. Maybe at some point it would have gotten to that, because I have made some of them previous, and some of them were recorded, some were not. So it may make it to that point eventually, but as of right now, nah. It's not gonna happen this year or the beginning of next year, for sure. So, but anyway, on to her. So like I was mentioning, she is part of the lunar duo. I haven't seen, like, and I haven't even got to play the game that they're in, because I'm just now sort of getting into some of the games and things like that, so I don't really know too much about her, and because the fact that Darkrai has sort of popped up a little bit more than even she has, I'm not really used to her at all, so this definitely had a little bit of a difficultness to it just because of that aspect. But I think in ways, like, at least from pictures that I've been seeing, you know, she definitely has very crescent moon qualities and very light qualities. She's a psychic type. And by the way, I just decided to make it a female. Technically, most of the legendaries are genderless, but for Sims purposes, I did make, you know, them male or female, but in reality, most of them are, like, the legendaries are genderless, and then all the other Pokemon can be male or female. But anyway, with this Pokemon, yeah, most of the pictures you see, the moon is a lot of times in the background. She's always, like, glowing or very bright, and from my understanding, it's almost like the dark side versus the light side of the moon, with Darkrai and her. I don't know if that's, like, a true thing, but that's the impression I'm getting. So, you know, I did try to keep with her color scheme and with her face, because this Pokemon has such a narrow and small face. That's what I tried to do compared to a lot of the other Pokemon Sims that I made. Their face tends to be a little bit bigger, actually, than a normal average Sims, but hers is a little bit smaller and very narrow compared to most of them. And I definitely think she ended up having, like, trying to give her features and, like, sort of represent sort of her Pokemon features. I definitely think she ended up looking a little bit more alien, even though, you know, she does have, like, a human skin tone. I think she definitely looks a little bit like she's a little bit alien, but it sort of fits since, you know, she is a lunar Pokemon, so it did actually fit pretty well. I didn't really notice it until I started going back and editing the video that she actually did look very alien-esque. So, but it worked out, and I will say, like, I like her, but she's one of the ones that I'm not as happy with, and I wish maybe that I could have had a few more options. The hair works out pretty well, because she does have two side pieces, like the Pokemon has two things coming down her face, and it actually goes up into, like, a peak, so the bun with the two side things works pretty well. But I don't know, there was just something I felt like I was missing. Like, I didn't feel like I was meeting what this Pokemon was. Maybe it's just my opinion. Maybe I have a certain way that I like my Sims to usually look, and she, because of the way that this Pokemon was and the way that I interpreted things from this Pokemon, it didn't necessarily go like I normally have my Pokemon, and maybe that's what's in my head. So I don't know, there's just something. She's a pretty Sim, and I do overall like her, I just don't love her. So I will say, like, maybe at some point I will go back. I did experiment a lot with adding things onto her, giving her something special. You probably have heard me mention with some of the legendaries, I did try to make the legendaries stick out just a little bit more. Some of them don't stick out necessarily as much as I wish they could have, or just, you know, just how it is. I did give her this piece on her head because she does have, like, the Pokemon has, like, a pink thing on her head there, so that did give her a little bit difference there. The screenshot should be coming up with very soon, and I actually did do something with her screenshots, which I'm actually very happy with her screenshots. I actually waited until it turned nighttime, which is really weird to do for screenshots when you're trying to show off a Sim, but I waited till nighttime, and then I placed, like, a bunch of lights in front of her, almost like it was like some sort of studio or something, and then a few lights hidden around her in the background, so it's very dark, but then she's sort of glowing. And that's sort of what this Pokemon does in the picture, so I definitely wanted to reflect that in the screenshots. So I was really happy with the screenshots, though, I will say. I hope you do like how this Sim turned out, even though, you know, she's not one of my favorites. I do like how she turned out, and I'm overall happy with her. So I'd love to hear y'all's inputs on this particular Sim, and let me know how you think I did. Definitely hit that lovely like button if you did enjoy it. Also, share the video so that others also may enjoy it as well. If you're not subscribed and you've stumbled on this video, make sure you subscribed so that you can see future Create a Sim videos as well as other things on my channel. All of my social media will be down in the description below, so you can go follow me in those. Particularly the Twitter and the Discord are the two that I would highly suggest following before the other ones, as well as all of my Sims 4 playlists, so you can go check those out there. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!